Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you, Artem, for presenting the meetup. I would like to wait like 2 more minutes just to allow more people to join in case there is any problem, and then we can start. Is that okay with you?
If you're asking me, that's totally fine.
I'll take this time like to introduce myself. My name is Oli Sampaio. I'm responsible for community relationship in Canada and Latin America. I'm gonna put my email in the chat in case you'd like to reach out to me for presenting at a meetup or learning about upcoming meetups or conferences. Um, After this meetup, I would like, if possible, for all of you to respond a quick survey. It's gonna take like 2 minutes. I'm gonna post the link on the chat as well. And by the end of his presentation, we're gonna have like 10 to 15 minutes of for time for question and answer. So, but if you have any question that pops up to your mind, you can post either on the Q&A or in the chat. Just make sure the question is to all attendees and all panelists.
I gotta say, I've done quite a few Canadian meetups. I think I spoke at an Elastic meetup in Montreal, in Ottawa, in Toronto, in Kitchener-Waterloo. Uh, mm, I don't think ever at Vancouver, but the bottom line is, I think the first meetup that is virtual. It's weird times we live in, but I really hope to see all of you in person someday soon at some cool startup venue with pizza and beer, and where we can actually, have a conversation before and after the meetup, and discuss whatever Elastic use cases you use. Because I feel like virtual meetups are great, but it's still a bit of a more of a webinar feel. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and encourage everyone interrupt me with a Q&A and ask questions. And um, Uli, I'm going to ask you to read those, like stop me right through the presentation, because I won't be able to monitor it, but just stop me right away and say, hey, there's this question that came up, and let's try and have a more of a interactive kind of experience here, rather than like a typical webinar experience.
Deal, sounds good. I've been watching the chat and the Q&A, and I'll let you know if any question pops up. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can start. Thanks again.
Yeah, no problem. Hi, everyone. My name is Artem Pogosyan. I'm a solutions architect here at Elastic. I've been with the company by now for probably 2.5 years, maybe even slightly more than that, which makes me pretty much a veteran by Elastic standards. I was employee 700 something in Elastic. We're close to 20, anywhere between 22 to 2,500. So a lot has happened since I joined. I feel the company focus has shifted a few times from pure kind of DevOps developer tools to more of a solution focus. So for those of you who are relatively new to the Elastic stack, and those who maybe haven't worked with Elastic before and just came to this meetup to learn more about Elastic in general, rather than about a particular solution that runs on top of Elastic, let's quickly talk about Elastic Stack and what we're trying to do with it as a company. So Elastic Stack, in the center of it all, is Elasticsearch, a distributed NoSQL data store that is capable of ingesting a lot of data. I mean, I'm talking about terabytes and petabytes worth of data, ingesting that data and making it available and searchable in sub-second response time in real time. So a lot of big data or NoSQL data sources are good at ingesting the data or good at searching the data and presenting that data. Elasticsearch is great at both. And it's also great at aggregating the data. And therefore, back in the day, when it was just still is an open source project, but back in the day wasn't an enterprise grade tool the way it is now. It was just an open source project back then. A lot of people started taking Elasticsearch and bringing data from various data sources and parsing it in Logstash, using Logstash as an ETL tool, and bringing it to Elastic because it's so fast and powerful. It indexes all the data behind the scenes, and then because of the aggregation engine in Elasticsearch, people also started using it together with Kibana. So having Kibana connect to Elasticsearch and use those aggregations to visualize data in nice charts. And that gave birth to what probably a lot of you have heard, the acronym ELK stack. So that's the ELK stack started solving multiple use cases. The use cases that ELK stack used to solve back in the day and still solves today are log analytics, security analytics, metrics, enterprise search, site search, application search, business analytics engine, so on and so forth. And then we had Beats joining Elastic Stack as a first-class citizen in our stack, lightweight shippers. Logstash is a pretty heavy tool to run on the edge. For example, if you want to collect logs from your production server, you wouldn't install Logstash on it because it's a pretty heavy tool. But Beats are very light, very powerful, but leave very little footprint on the edge. So they don't really overload the system when they try to collect the data. So they collect the data on the edge and ship it off, either to Logstash for some further processing or to Elasticsearch for just direct indexing. And so that's a bit of a history, nothing to do with the subject of today's presentation. But as we matured more and more as a company, we felt like a lot of our users wanted to have the flexibility to build their solutions on top of our stack, but a lot of things they were expecting out of the box. And the more and more we specialized in the security use cases and observability use cases and in search use cases, we heard that loud and clear. Our users said, well, it's great that I can build everything using your stack, but I want a solution. So we unified logs, metrics, and APM traces into a single product that we call Elastic Observability. We unified security analytics into a single product that we call Elastic Security. But the focus of our today's presentation is us giving a curated search experience to our users using Elastic Enterprise Search product. So essentially, all the use cases that we saw with Elastic behind the scenes, they're all about search. Every time you try to get to the data, even if it's an observability use case, you try to understand what broke in my system. It's actually a search use case. You execute a search and say, find me maybe a particular error that happened between a certain time period. And but when we think of search, we typically think of other things, right? Like when we think of search, we think of the search box that appears somewhere where you type in something that you want to find. And these search boxes typically appear somewhere on the website, or maybe somewhere in the application, or maybe within some sort of like a wiki system or knowledge-based system, or some sort of repository that links to multiple data sources. And that's where we typically see the search box. And this is where when we search the whatever we're looking for, we're expected to come back to us with the results, and we expect it to come back to us with relevant results, most importantly, right? I mean, everyone is, I remember back in the day when getting relevant results was a luxury. Before Google was around, we all used, I don't know, I used Alta Vista back in the day. Some people used Yahoo. So, but everyone essentially was ready back then to deal with the fact that the search doesn't always bring you the best results. And then once Google came along, I mean, we're all expecting when we're putting in a search term, we're expecting it to come back to us with a relevant result. And if it's not relevant, we just, well, what are we going to do? We're just going to walk away, probably, right? If I'm on a website, I'm searching for something, and it's not a great search experience, I'm going somewhere else. If I'm coming to e-commerce website, I'm trying to find a product, I can't find it, I'm going somewhere else. And or if my search is slow, I'm going somewhere else. So with our products, with the Elastic Enterprise Search, this is exactly what we're trying to address. We're trying to make sure that we can give our customers the most relevant search results for their users when they search for the data anywhere. And then we also want to empower our customers to control those search results, to have that curated experience where you don't need to be a developer, or you don't need to change, even if you are a developer, you don't need to change code. Like we all, like, I mean, I come from a development background. I worked for some large organizations in the past. You can check my LinkedIn. And I think we all know what it's like that whole change request process, just because you change a single line of code. I remember, like, it was a monthly maintenance request window where I had to fill out, I would spend probably longer hours in terms of filing those change requests, because I just changed the line of code versus actually making that change and then testing it. So not having to change code, but being able to even give it to your business users to say, this is how you tune the relevance of your search, of the user search experience, is a very powerful capability, right? And also, as your business grows, as your use case grows, right, you don't want to be stuck with a technology that can't grow with you. And that's the power of these solutions that behind the scenes, they're all powered by Elasticsearch. And then they can scale horizontally, because that's one of the main value propositions of Elasticsearch, being able to scale horizontally and deal with pretty much any volume of data. So again, Elastic Enterprise Search as a product that we build out of the box and give our users the ability to have a kind of curated search experience, because today consists of 3 different products in its own: workplace search, app search, and site search. And let me double click on all of them. We will not spend a lot of time on Elastic Site Search because I feel it's very similar to Elastic App Search with a bit of a difference. Elastic Site Search is a fully fully SaaS product. So if you want to use it, it's a kind of a bit of a different pricing model when compared to everything else. Site Search comes with a crawler. So it's as simple as giving us your URL of your website. Our crawler will go out and crawl your site and will make all of it available and searchable right away, and you can control that search experience. Similar to Elastic App Search. App Search is essentially a middleware between your application and Elasticsearch. So your app code goes here. Elasticsearch here, and right in between both of them, we have Elastic App Search Server that has all of these APIs that enable your developers and you, on one hand, to index the data and search the data easily. So they don't need to learn Elasticsearch to use App Search. They don't need to deal with any of the query complexity. A lot of things out of the box that App Search will do for them. Things like combining multiple queries and kind of aggregating all of that in that App Search server, and then giving back those results, so on and so forth. But also, it will give great analytics and ability for the business users, or maybe even engineers, to control the search experience within that application. And that could be plugged into anything. That could be plugged into your web application. That could be plugged into your mobile application. That could be plugged into your into your desktop application. Pretty much anywhere, as long as you have the capability through the network to connect to the app search server, you can use this functionality. And Elastic Workplace Search is actually a third product in this enterprise search family that serves a bit of a different purpose. It serves sort of like an internal Wikipedia, searchable Wikipedia of all of your repositories. Well, maybe Wikipedia isn't the right word here, but essentially what it does, it gives you a nice UI where you can search across multiple data sources within your organization. So, for example, within your organization, you're using Google Drives, you're using Jira, you're using Confluence, you might be using OneDrive as well, you might be still using SharePoint, and you're able to search across, like from a single, you're able to have a single unified search experience from a centralized location that will go out and search through all of those different repositories. So we claim that essentially using our products, you'll be able to get pretty much best results anywhere. So as I said, there are multiple use cases that can be solved with and multiple places where you can use this. So you see these are some of the examples. As I mentioned before, like GeoSearch is another great example. Like some sort of internal search is also a great example. And like some sort of maybe a case management system or knowledge base, all of that can be implemented using either enterprise search or app search or site search. So you see all of these great kind of business value business value points on the slide that relate to why should you use out-of-the-box solution versus building your own. But for me, as a former developer, it's essentially the ease of use and ease of consuming the APIs and ease of indexing of the documents with app search, or ease of connectivity to multiple data sources with the workplace search. It's, if someone built it for me, and if the experts of search built it for me, I'd rather use it and build and concentrate on my own kind of domain and my own area of expertise and on my own code, rather than go and sort of reinvent the wheel, in my opinion. So that's a value proposition, biggest value proposition in my eyes. And we're trying to make our products as flexible as possible in terms of where you run them. We give you the capabilities to run them self-managed, and you can install it anywhere. You can install it on your laptop. You can install it on the server in your data center, or in your office in the data center, or you can install it in the cloud and fully manage it yourself. Or if you don't want to deal with any of that, you can consume our SaaS offering, which is we call Elastic Cloud. Today it runs on top of AWS, Azure, or GCP. Don't confuse with Elasticsearch, AWS Elasticsearch service that they have, that they're offering. It's a pretty different product. They're just taking our open source version of Elasticsearch, forking it and making it available as their managed service. So if you want to be able to get this service, site search or workplace search or app search, you would need to consume our native Elastic Cloud service. So as I mentioned, this scales as everything that we build within Elastic ecosystem of products. Scale is at top of mind for everything we do. We have customers that are running petabytes worth of volume of documents in Elasticsearch or with workplace search. We have customers that are using Elastic for ingesting millions of events per second. So definitely everything we build here in Elastic is horizontally scalable and will easily grow with you as your use case grows. And without further ado, at this point, I'm gonna jump to a demo. I just stop sharing. I just stop sharing. Unless there are questions in Q&A. And I don't think there are. I don't see any questions, but
No, so far, no questions, Artem. Just remind everyone, if you post any question, make sure it's to all panelists and all attendees, please, or post a question on the Q&A.
Yeah, and let me. So let's start with Elastic App Search. So this is my Elastic App Search front end. So something that I've implemented to enable app search experience. So the use case that I'm trying to solve here, I'm trying to build a knowledge base for my users, and I'm trying to, if people are looking to self-serve and figure out and help themselves with whatever issue they're having, they come here and they build they search for it, obviously. And if they can't find it, they come here and they contact support. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for, well, say my password expired and I'm not 100% sure how to reset it. I'm going to type in reset password, and I'm intentionally making this spelling mistake over here. And right away, as you can see, I'm just going to type. I'm just going to enter. So it what happened there? So let me just search for that. Yeah. So right away, as you can see, as I was typing it in, it was suggesting, it was giving me some query suggestions on the previous screen. But despite the fact that I misspelled the password, it's finding me this whole pretty relevant results over here, right? So it's showing me reset. It's highlighting the words that the ones that I obviously didn't misspell, and it's showing me so the results for resetting the password. And here I see like reset the Elastic user password. If I click on this result, I come here to our documentations page to where I can read those instructions. But over here, what it's doing, it's faceting the results for me. So it's taking all the results and it's searching across multiple document sections, so to speak, and it's faceting these results for me by the section. So, for example, if I want to just take a look at maybe at Elastic Cloud, I can facet this search, and now I'm only getting these 80 hits that are coming from the Elastic Cloud. What's also pretty cool here, I mean, this is when you contact support, if you can't find a specific issue, so you can put here in the subject, start putting in reset password, and I'm not going to misspell it, and you can see I'm seeing once I'm typing it, I'm seeing the results here on the right hand side. This is just an example of how you can use this app search and how it's showing you results as you're typing. So maybe you can even avoid contacting support because you just found what you were looking for before hitting the send button. All right, enough of this with the search experience. I think we all pretty much, and then it's also showing me like these whole popular topics here. But we all know what the search experience should look like. We're expecting it to just work for us. As I come in and I type something, I'm expecting it to just work and to work well, and come back to me fast, as I said previously, with relevant results. But how can I manage this behind the scenes without changing a single line of code? So here, this is my app search console, where I can manage my whole search experience. So I would always start, like I already have couple of engines created here, but I'll show you what creating an engine would look like. So I'm going to call it maybe test engine. I'm going to click on create an engine. And here, so I started an engine and now I need to upload documents. So there are multiple ways I can actually upload documents here. So I can paste them in JSON format. I can upload a JSON file, but I guess what we're all expecting is some sort of API, which will allow me to post and update the documents as they're changing in my whatever source of truth system, or whenever there are edits coming in or whatnot, right? So that's that. Again, I don't have it. I just created this engine, so I don't have any documents in it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you these other two documents, these other two engines that I have here with some documents in them. So this one is elastic.co, Elastic Code Discuss. I just wanted to show you one quick feature. So this is actually our Discuss forums indexed over here with different topics. And this is my schema. This is a schema of my documents over here. So what I'm going to do here, like you see, I've all of this stuff by default has been indexed as text, and I'm seeing that the date probably should be indexed as a date instead of text. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click on update types, and what it's doing behind the scenes, it's actually rebuilding the entire index for me from top to bottom. In Elasticsearch, this is a pretty complex procedure. You have to build a new you have to build a new index. You have to change the alias. You have to change the mapping types. Make sure you have to reindex from one, move data from one index to another with proper mapping, so on and so forth. Here, we have done this with just a single click of a button without not having to do anything pretty much. And now all of my data is in the right format. So those of you who ever had to do it in Elasticsearch, you will really appreciate being able to do this outside of the box. But now let's go to this documents engine, the one that's actually powering this search experience over here. So let's take a look at its schema too. So there are a whole bunch of fields over here, and that consist of that document, and we can actually go and take a look at all the documents that have been indexed in this engine. So I can just filter documents by just typing something like things like maybe I don't know, maybe if I try billing, I don't know if it's going to come back with any results. Yeah, it does. So it's coming back with certain results. But the other feature that I really like, I like the query tester. The query tester actually is showing me the same query experience as my users would have over here. So instead of jumping back to this UI, I can just use this query tester, and I can just preview those results. So let me search for something like dashboard. So these are all those same results that my users will see as they're searching for them in this UI, right? So if I make any changes here, it will automatically show up there. I can just test it here without having to go to my actual front end. So reference UI is a quick start kind of for our users to generate their own UI. Some of them aren't necessarily front-end experts, so you're able to generate like a quick kind of template for them to take that UI and connect this to this product and use it. And what I'd really like to show you is the capability to do analytics and curations. So first, I'm going to take a look at the analytics. I think this is awesome. So it's showing me all of my search experiences on my site. So I'm seeing these are the top queries with results, and these are the top queries with no results. And if those queries obviously There's some like it says resetting password. I can see that people are either misspelling it, or if it's a popular misspelling, maybe I want to be able to handle it somehow. And I'm seeing the popular terms, and imagine this not being just a document or a knowledge base for some internal dev team, but imagine this being some sort of marketing or like e-commerce site that is being that we're showing to that is showing our customers are using to shop for something. And I can see that a lot of people are searching for like cloud or for whatever term they're searching. So I can do more of that. The top terms that they're searching for here that they're not getting results on, I know these are the gaps that I need to make sure that this is my essentially there's demand for these products, and I need to make them available here. So you can take that kind of example and apply it to pretty much any use case, not just e-commerce, but e-commerce, I think with e-commerce kind of paints a nice vision over there. So there are a whole bunch of click analytics, like what were the top queries with clicks? And what's even more interesting, what were the top queries without clicks? What does it mean that we had some query without clicks? It means that whatever results that we showed in that query wasn't relevant at all. So I gotta figure out how to handle it, like for account dashboard. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna now go and change my whole search curation. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna create a new curation. Like what was it? Account dashboard, right? That people weren't clicking on. So I'm gonna go here with account dashboard, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a look at this particular document, maybe this one. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it and I'm just gonna promote it. I'm just gonna make it here. So well, this whatever the account dashboard, this result will always come on top whenever the query account dashboard is being triggered. So if I come here and I type in account dashboard, I'm not sure if I need to save it. Yeah, right away it shows up. View the sample Kibana dashboards, right? It's exactly that document that I have here. View the sample Kibana dashboards. So that's the result that's showing up on top because it's a curated result. So, and another example, if a particular search term is not returning any results, like for example, if someone's searching for console and is not being able to find anything there, right? What I could do, I can create a synonym set, and I can say every time someone is searching for console, just also for dashboard or for console, it doesn't really matter for one or the other. Just make sure that these are the other terms that you need to search for there. And if I want to add more terms, more synonyms within a single set, I can do that too. So here I can maybe add like a second synonym, something like profile. So now every single search for console will also search for dashboard and for the profile. So which will essentially will remove the need for me to go and reindex all of my data or rebuild synonyms within Elasticsearch directly. I can do it all within this tool right away. And another interesting capability here is the ability to do to do relevance tuning. So, for example, if you want to always show the documents with the most clicks on top, so what you can do here, you can boost every single click every single match in that click field. Like there are various ways you can do this. Like you can do like a functional boost, you can do logarithmics, exponential, linear. Let's just do linear. Let's say multiplied by 3. Like maybe let's do it like that. Multiplied by 3 and save it. So now every single result that gets clicks match will appear higher on in the search results versus any other versus match with any other field, or basically no, pardon me. that would be true for the text fields. But for the clicks, like the more clicks the number has, the more clicks the document have, the higher it will appear in the result list. Because we're collecting the clicks, and clicks is part of our internal kind of is an internal field. So that's pretty much it for app search. I see there's something in the chat there. Let me take a look. Uli, do we have any questions in the chat?
No, we were just talking about, like, I'm going to post this recording on our YouTube channel.
All right, sounds good. So we just looked at Elastic App Search and at the curated app search experience and how you can easily embed search experience within your application. You can just utilize our APIs or to do searches or index documents, and you wouldn't have to learn necessarily Elasticsearch for that. Actually, in the query tester, what I did want to show, let me just search for something. Let's what did I search last time? Dashboard, right? Dashboard. So let me show you the query details. So this is an actual Elasticsearch query that is being executed behind the scenes to make it all possible, right? And that's just for the simple search for search term here. So not having to write that and having just call an API, like something like API.search for dashboards is actually I think is a great value proposition of this product. That alone, never mind the whole curation in real time of the search experience and being able to change search experience on the fly. So if there are not any more, if there are no more questions regarding app search, I'm going to move now to the next part of this demonstration, and I'm going to show you Elastic Workplace Search. I'm not going to show you site search because site search is very similar to app search, with the difference that we have a crawler there that just essentially just crawls your site and indexes it all, but the whole like search curation experience is very similar to app search. So Elastic Workplace Search. So this is the default UI for Elastic Workplace Search. Elastic Workplace Search, like the admin part of it and the idea, look and feel, might sound somewhat similar to app search, but it's a completely different product. What we're trying to do with Elastic App Search or Workplace Search, sorry, is being able giving you the capability to connect to multiple data sources within your organization and have one centralized search experience across all of them. So over here, I'm going to type in here. I'm connected to all these data sources: Acme Vault. I'm connected to OneDrive, Google Drive, Salesforce, Dropbox, Jira, GitHub, and whatnot, right? And I'm going to type in something like, say, email marketing PDFs. And again, it does auto completion for me. Like it's showing me like this popular search terms that were there in the past. So once I'm going to search for them, it's going to show me that it's going to recognize PDFs as a keyword. It's going to show me, it's going to facet all the results. It's going to show me that like all these data sources didn't have results, or I don't have access to them maybe. And then it's showing me that it's pre-filtering everything because I typed in PDFs here right away, just to show me just the PDF documents and nothing else. I obviously can remove this and then I'll see a lot more documents, but right away it will do that. And it's doing the relevance across multiple data sources. It's not like it's trying to do the relevance across, excuse me, across every single data source and just bringing me the unified result. It's actually condensing all the results from multiple places and then showing me the results in the relevance orders, so to speak. So it does highlighting, obviously, within those documents where the matches have happened. And what it also does for me, gives me this preview, like the excerpts of those documents. So maybe I'm reading here the excerpt of the document from the SharePoint, and I don't need to go to the SharePoint. And same thing with the Dropbox. If it's giving me the excerpt from Dropbox, and I don't need to actually navigate away to go to Dropbox. But if I need to, obviously I'll just click on View on Dropbox, and it'll just take me to whatever Dropbox URL we have there. It's not my Dropbox. I'm not connected to it, so I'm not going to click on it. But I think everyone's getting the idea what I'm trying to do here. So it's and it has some smarts built into the query language here. Like, it's not very complex. You don't need to, don't think of it as having to learn another query DSL, but you can do things like documents, let's say updated by Peggy Labadie, and it's going to figure out that updated by is a keyword, and it's going to show through everything where Peggy Labadie is the actual author of these documents. So, and it's going to pull all the documents updated by her, by that user, right? Or if I want to do, for example, like if I'm part of the engineering group, I can do like open, pull requests by like Jonas LL, and let's see what, yeah. So it's gonna pre-filter everything because these are pull requests. It knows the type of the documents. It knows that those got to be open. It's another keyword, and it is gonna look for this author, the pull request for that author, and it's gonna show me pull everything from GitHub with these open pull requests. So what does the admin console behind the scenes look like for workplace search? So let's take a look here. So here in the workplace search, it's kind of the similar idea with the engines, but here it's instead of the engines, we're talking more about actual data sources. So these are all the data sources that I have within my organization. So if I want to add a new data source, it's as simple as just like say like add a new one. I pick which one I have a pre-built connector for, and if I don't have a connector for it, I'll just click on I can just use a custom API source, and I mean you have to read the docs how to connect it, but essentially everything is available through the API. One other thing worth mentioning, that this whole search experience here is also available through the APIs. We're giving you a UI product with this, but if you want to build your own UI and just use the APIs to do the same thing, you're able to do this with this product as well, and have your own custom UI to do this. And so obviously we have a whole bunch of users that can integrate with whatever it is within your organization are using. So it will integrate with that, like it's LDAP, Active Directory. I believe, I have to double check, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe you can easily integrate that. Yeah, so you don't have to like double create the users in your system and our system. Again, I need to check that. I believe that's the case. And and then you can create various groups within your search experience and giving access to different groups, give access to different data sources. So for example, for the site reliability engineering group, you give them access to these 3 data sources. You give them access to Confluence, to Google Drive, and to GitHub. And if you want to give them more data sources, you can just simply add it here. Or if you want to manage the users, you can add and remove users over here. But if you want to manage source prioritization, machining is the best feature. You can go in here and just, for example, I think for site reliability group, they whatever comes from GitHub should be above everything else, because that's their most important data source. And I can save that. So now any user that is searching for anything from site reliability group, their GitHub results will always be, if they fully match with other data sources, they'll be on top compared to everything else. So that's a curated workplace search experience. like the biggest value here, in my opinion, in this product is in the centralized scoring mechanism where you score results no matter from which data source they come from. So you can have some like a result from coming from like first from Jira, then from SharePoint, then from maybe GitHub, and then from Jira again. It's not like you have only first you have only Jira results and then you have GitHub results. So it's actually doing the relevance and showing you the results in terms of the, like in the sequence of that relevance. That's one thing. And second thing, really, like I think huge value is in all of these connectors that were built out of the box for you. So you can within your organization, without any effort, you can collect SharePoint to Salesforce to Jira to Confluence, OneDrive, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much all I had in terms of presentation and a demo. We're at 6:45, so my intent is to spend next 15 minutes maybe answering questions, or if there are no questions, we can just give you 15 minutes back. So and when you post questions in Q&A channel, just make sure you're posting to everyone. I see in the chat someone saying cool demo. We'll play around with it. Yeah, by all means, you can just download it. I think it's available with the basic license, and you can just play with it, kick tires with it. So you just need Elasticsearch behind the scenes, and you need this product, so connect it together, and then you're good to go. I had it installed on my laptop. It's relatively straightforward process. Or you can just do a demo with our cloud at elastic.co. You can do a 14 days trial, and this product is available there too. You can just kick the tires there without having to install anything. Any more comments, questions?
I don't see any questions on the Q&A.
Okay, so let's give it maybe a minute or two, and then we can adjourn.
Yeah, sure. All right. Thank you, everyone that joined this meetup. I posted information, the contact information on the chat. And if in case you're not part of the Elastic user group, please join to be aware of upcoming meetups. Artem, again, thank you so much for your presentation. Hope you all have a great night. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.